Alright, today's video, we're talking gimbals, we're talking cameras. We're gonna talk about, I'm not gonna say the most difficult event I've ever had to film, but I will say this event is completely unique in regards to visuals and what we're filming. So let's go ahead and talk about it. The event I just got done filming, Skyway Social.
You got me in.
So to kick things off, let's discuss what we were hired to actually complete and deliver on our end of things. So Skyway Social, this is its year number 2, which is an event dedicated to kind of bringing downtown Jacksonville to life in regards to, we have a metro system that runs through our downtown. So once a year, Nico and our team put on an incredible event that you just watched, Skyway Social, and we're brought in to do the photography and videography. Now the goal here pretty much is a quick recap and to get as many assets as we can possibly use for promotional items for next year. Now each year the venue actually switches up when it comes to themes and nature and kind of different environments. So it's one of those things where year 1, it looked like this, year 2, it looks like this, and year 3, it'll be something different. But we are always trying to get future, attendees very intrigued in regards to the event because, hey, it's on a metro, it's multiple platforms, and to get to the different performers, you gotta hop on that metro, you gotta ride to that next platform, and boom, you're in a new party environment. Now, when it came to cameras that was used particularly for this event, I just stuck 100% to the Lumix S1 Mark II, and I came out right out of the gate with the gimbal setup in particular because I would say probably, at least 75 to 80% of the shoot was done 100% on either the 24 to 60 f2.8 or the 20 to 60, is it right here? No, this is actually the 28 to 200. I must have it in my bag. But the 20 to 60 kit lens f3.5 to 5.6, everything was shot in open gate 6K. I would say I maybe goofed around a little bit in shooting some slow-mo with the S1 Mark II. Definitely went handheld, and we'll discuss that particular rig. But regarding some of the difficulties of this particular project, I would have to say the most difficult thing had to just be that this is a multiple platform event. So if you're wondering, you kind of enter the event, you go up the escalators, and now you're into the metro system. Now on some platforms, in the middle platform, there's a concert going on, and then you take the escalators up to then get on the metro to take you to the next event space. Now there was, I wanna say, the rodeo theme, there was the disco theme, and then there was the jungle theme. Those were our 3 for this year, and kind of bouncing back and forth between the 3, trying to get as many of the performing acts as possible. Now, when we weren't on that gimbal, simply put, we pretty much had this setup that I'm about to assemble right here, which is just all small rig, except for the battery. We got the newer V-mount battery, and we also have a Viltrox monitor, but we'll go ahead and put our handle on there, V-mount, just like this. I'm not gonna do the wiring, no need to show off that, even though I do love to use Condor Blue, and I try to keep it to just USB-C power and HDMI in for the actual monitor itself. So if you were wondering handheld for this particular event, this is what we would be rolling, just like this, boom. Either the 24 to 60 or the 20 to 60, all open gate 6K at 30 frames per second. Now some of you might say, oh, that's not cinematic. I just find visuals look beautiful, and playback on Instagram or on social media networks are pretty solid. So sticking to 30, also sometimes shoot 60, but really it's just that 30 frames, and we'll goof around with other things in post-production. So handheld setup, Only thing I would probably disclose is that I do rock Tifton blacksmith filters. I also have K&F's version as well, but those go on every single piece of glass just to make sure those highlights are not completely overexposed, or if anything, they're very bloomy. Now, this event is roughly about 4 or 5 hours. We show up pretty early when the sun is actually still out. Typically, that is just kind of get B-roll of the event, kind of get workers working, because that is one like asset that we deliver is for the JEA or JTA squad, which is the actual Jacksonville Transportation Association, the ones that allow us to do this event here. We throw them a little bit of a bone, and we give them a lot of the raw footage of kind of some of the stuff you're seeing, some of the kind of projects that they're working on, some of their employees actually working, discussing how the event's going to roll. So that is one other simultaneous thing that's kind of going on, is we're filming B-roll of the event, but we're also trying to get B-roll of the R team guys in action and the JTA folk doing their thing, and as much branding as possible. Now, I will say, once the lights go down, the sun's gone, it gets a little bit more difficult in shooting this particular environment, because as mentioned, to get to the different platforms, you need to get on that train, and that train takes about 10 minutes-ish. Now, one thing I will say is this event brings in about, like, I want to say maybe 1,500 people shared between these 3 platforms. You guys are seeing it from a wide view, and it gets pretty packed. So a lot of times we're on gimbal, we're holding camera as high up as we can. I know it's kind of a pain, but a lot of times I'm just one hand as high as I can up in the air. Sorry, you probably can't see it, but doing something like this. I love to use the pan tilt mode. I find it adds a little bit more movement if I just use pan or whatever. What would it be? PF mode on the Ronin. I don't find that it adds enough kind of dynamic movement of going like this. It's just either straight across or up and down. So pan, tilt, follow. I don't go full FPV mode. I find that can get a little wacky, and sometimes, yeah, it's just not the full-blown look that I'm going for. All in all, just camera settings, if you're wondering, we were shooting open gate, shooting all log footage. We're shooting either ISO 640 or ISO 5000 on the Lumix Mark 1, 2, or whatever the heck this thing is. I always forget. But definitely keeping in those native ISOs so we have full flexibility and the least amount of grain in our footage. But all in all, I just want to do a little quick discussion of a project we were tasked with. The photo side, the guys did great. I pretty much, for the most part, oversaw the full video side, and then some of the drone shots you're seeing were shot by Chase on the DJI, what is it, the Mavic Mini 3 or something like that. Fantastic drone. But that's a glimpse into a quick little project. We did it on a Saturday night. Deliverables came in on Sunday, and I want to say at this point I've just exported all the raw footage and stuff so that we can eventually go back later and kind of mess around with that footage as mentioned. So, an interesting event, a little bit difficult, but we've done it 2 years in a row, had a blast, probably showing you some footage from last year as well. But all in all, it was a win-win for the group, a win-win for our team, and a win-win for the city of Jacksonville. So like, comment, subscribe, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.